The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
The remarkable thing about American democracy is this. Just enough of us, on just enough occasions, have chosen not to dismantle democracy, but to preserve democracy. We must choose that path again.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Tell us why he chose to speak about this hugely important topic, threats to democracy, last night. And do you think that this was the right moment when polls show that it's the economy that voters care most about?
Look, the president, as you know, has spoken about this many times, Jonathan. You have followed the president for the past couple of years, and he has talked about the soul of our nation. He has talked about protecting our democracy. He has talked about the importance of strengthening our democracy.
She didn't answer the question. Why would he be talking about democracy instead of about inflation that he created? Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You know, it's interesting. All presidents, their biggest fear, going back to Washington, going back to President Washington, is inflation, the destroying of their currency. I mean, you can't dismantle democracy. No, it's not a Christmas erector set. What are you, nuts? Democracy is man-made. And as I say, all presidents since Washington feared inflation because it destroys the nation's security. Example, Rome in the end, right before the collapse, because of the hyperinflation, what Rome kept on doing is they kept debasing it by taking out silver in their coins, and they put in copper, which was cheap. Eventually what happened, things got so expensive that the barbarians entered Rome unopposed because they couldn't keep their army together. The most powerful army in the world. The barbarians didn't defeat Rome. It was inflation that defeated Rome. It was the devaluation from that invasion, or devaluation rather, of the dollar, that what army? Nobody wanted to fight. You just kept leaving the army. Washington at the same time, or not the same time, but he went through the same experience. His big fear was inflation. His big fear is the devalue of the dollar. The first continental dollar, they were printing so many dollars because they had so many bills because of the war and so forth, and they printed and printed and printed. Soon, the first continental dollar was worthless. And they would pay the soldiers, and the soldiers would use it as toilet paper, and he saw them in Washington saw this, and he'd see him use it as toilet paper or confetti. So he was very fearful that inflation, that this was running wild and debasing of the dollar, that the same thing would happen here in the U.S. that happened to Rome. So Hamilton, who was the first Treasury Secretary, he agreed to start to back the dollar with gold. So you see, Biden doesn't know what he's talking about. He has no idea. He has no clue. You don't dismantle democracy. Democracy is man-made. And the collapse of any economy goes all the way back. You can trace it back to inflation. Again, Rome. The incident I just talked about with the Continental Army. We almost lost the Continental Army, and that would have been over. We'd be under British rule now. Germany in 1920. Too much spending again. Too much printing. Led to massive inflation, exactly what's happening to us. The economy collapsed, and that led to the rise of Hitler. Argentina, that was the wealthiest country in South America. Same thing. All this inflation, massive printing and printing and printing, and all of a sudden the currency's worthless. And Argentina failed in 1950. Still haven't recovered since 1950. Everybody heard about Zimbabwe. Remember, they weren't printing $5 bills or $20 bills. They're printing $1 trillion bills. So it took $8 trillion when you went to the grocery store, $8 trillion to buy a gallon of milk. $8 trillion. It's funny, but it's not. Because, again, this is where you head. If you have a president that's not fearful, which he's not, all the other presidents were fearful of inflation. He's not. Take Rome. Rome. If you look at Rome in the first century, as I said, the same thing happened. And they finally, in Rome, as I said, they collapsed. England, they're ready to collapse. And Henry kept on spending and spending and spending, and soon the same thing happened. They kept debasing their currency. So Henry all of a sudden said to Queen Elizabeth, you take this over. And was just lucky that the people loved her and trusted her, and what she created was a new coin that had great value to it. So we're right where they were. Unfortunately, we got a dope. We got him for 2 more years. This is crazy. See, inflation doesn't increase the value of gasoline. Inflation doesn't increase the value of food or bananas or anything else. It's your dollar becomes less valuable because Biden keeps spending too much. Keeps spending too much. And then they keep printing and printing, debasing our currency. Example, if you go back to 1970, a Coke was 1 dime. I remember. Coke was 1 dime. A Big Mac was 66 cents. Today, here we are 52 years later, the Big Mac is not 66 cents, but $5. Coke is not a dime. Coke's about $2 for a Coke. So again, the Big Mac didn't go up and the Coke didn't go up in value. It was our dollar going down. Our currency's going down in value because we're printing too much of it. Because they won't, and the other thing, they won't cut spending. And if the poor young people today, they can't find a starter home. They can't afford a starter home. Their parents made far less money, but their parents had a nice home. And of course that makes the young folks angry. And that's the opportunity for the college professors who are socialists, who are Marxists in our colleges, to take advantage of that. And they took advantage of AOC and all those people and all those congresswomen in her what they call it, her crowd or whatever they call it, squad. They were all young college kids. All came out of college angry, and they got screwed. This is what inflation does. Be right back after this break.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
What are you, nuts? Coffee's up 92%. Lumber's up 67%. Heating oil, what, 60%? Gasoline, 55%? I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grandy.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth. You get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. So, remember when Powell said this the other day?
The incoming data since our last meeting suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates will be higher than previously expected.
That's what drove the market back down. Remember, first, he was saying how that, everything seemed to be fine, and maybe the next meeting or the meeting after, I'm going to pull back on interest rates. I don't think, maybe I just won't do anymore. I don't know. But it could be as early as the next month's meeting, or, December or January. And then he came out and said that, and people started to sell their stocks. First, they went up 400, turned around, went down 500. That's called volatility in the market. And you make money in the markets. They have volatility as long as you know how to short a market. And that's the real problem. Over 80% of the people who invest in the market lose money because they don't know how to sell short. And the people who buy and hold, that's ridiculous. That's a total myth. So Powell doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's being torn. He works for Biden. So he's being told what to do. And now, listen to this.
Let me say this. It is very premature to be thinking about pausing. So people, when they hear lags, they think about...
Wait a minute. That's what he said after he said this.
The incoming data since our last meeting suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates will be higher than previously expected.
I'm sorry. The first thing he said was that he was going to think about pausing the next meeting. The second thing he said was, and then he backed up and said this.
The incoming data since our last meeting suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates will be higher than previously expected.
Then after, in the question and answer period, this is when he said this.
Let me say this. It is very premature to be thinking about pausing.
Wow. So you want to know why the market's all over the place? And then he finally said this.
I'm pleased that we have moved as fast as we have. I don't think we've over-tightened. I think there's very difficult...
Are you kidding me? Move as fast? Are you kidding? They should have been raising rates in 2021. Remember, when they were keeping the Fed fund rates near zero, and then finally, right, they started to raise the Fed fund rates. Now the Fed fund rates are 3.25%, 3.5%. That is the money. That's the interest that they charge your bank. And then your bank, of course, charges you whatever they want. We should have been at 3.54, and we should have broke the back of inflation. But now we got to go to 5% to break the back of inflation. And today, when the market, when they did the job numbers, they came in too hot. And the market dropped. It went from like 230 down negative. And then the plunger team came in and turned the market right around and ran it back up 230, 240 again. Because as I told everybody, and like the other day when the market came down after it went up 400 and came down 500, I said, no, the market's going to keep going up to the day of the election. And I told my members that. I said, so make sure you understand that, especially our oil. Our oil's doing terrific. I said, they're going to turn, this market is going to keep going up. And this morning when they came out with a hot number, of course the market dropped right away. But they didn't want to keep it there. So what's the first thing that Biden did? He put his plunger team together, okay? Treasury Secretary, right? The head of the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. Who's the other one? There's four of them. Anyways, he put his team together and said, look, let's get the market back up. Let's get the market back up. Buy some treasuries. So he contacts J.P. Morgan, tells him go out there and buy some treasuries. Let's get this market moving. Unbelievable. Or options, I should say. So, again, remember that Powell has no control now. He's lost all control. So what's going to happen with the market? We're going to rally up to the day of the election, and then it's going to be over. It's over. Then the market is going to go back down, probably 10, 20%, 30%, to reach a value. The market's got to go down to reach a value that pulls the value of these stocks down to where there will be capitulation. In other words, we don't have the buyers. The institutional buyers aren't here buying. All they're doing is covering their short positions. They short the market, just like what happened today. The market went down, boom, they shorted it. We were at 240, boom, they brought it down, it was negative. They covered their short positions, boom, we went back up to 240. How can you go from 240 to negative, turn around and go back up 240? Because they cover their short positions. When you have a stock market, if you look at the S&P on a chart, bring it back a full year, we got four distinctive lower highs. How are you going to get out of that channel? It's impossible. You either got to get out with earnings. Of course, there's not going to be earnings. Earnings are going to get, are you kidding me? Earnings? Or you got to have QE again, but if we go into QE, we're in real trouble because that means inflation go up so high that you'll be paying on a mortgage on a home to get a mortgage 10, 15%. I remember the day I was paying 18%, going back in the 70s. So I've been through all this. I see what's coming. So the only way we can break out of the situation we're in is called this downtrend channel that has four distinctive lower highs, which is a strong message telling you we are in deep crap. Is they either got to go back to what England did and say, let's go back to QE to push the market up. If they did that, inflation would be incredible. Or they got to create jobs, get productivity up, create jobs, and get earnings up. That's not going to happen. Not when Biden's paying people to stay home. What did they say the other day? All the programs, if you take advantage of every program that Biden does, you and your family is doing, you make the equivalent of $70,000 a year and not go to work. So how are we going to get productivity? What are you, nuts? Hey, we'll be right back with some messages.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Graney at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. These are volatile times in the stock market.
Market's up 200, then it's up 800, it's up 700.
How do you get the facts when investing?
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. If you're confused about the stock market, get unconfused. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and listen to my radio show every weekday at 3 Eastern. What is the market going to do? We know exactly what the market's going to do.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
There's no need for you to be losing money.
Check it out, philsgang.com.
What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%. Lumber's up 67%. Heating oil, what, 60%? Gasoline, 55%? I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you a fan of the Phil's Gang radio show? Then you should check out philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Hey, good afternoon, Phil's Gang. It's Steve Celeste, the Director of Education here at philsgang.com. Just want to show you how to sign up for the 10-day free trial. Simply go to the top of the website. That's philsgang.com, www.philsgang.com. At the top of the site, you're going to click on Get Started. On the next page, you're going to click on the big red banner that says 10-day free trial working investor plan, and that's all you got to do. And back to you, Phil.
Thank you, Steve. Also remember, every day when you have that question in your mind, what do you think the market's going to do? Just go to my YouTube channel, and I tell you, very seldom am I wrong. I told everybody when the market rallied that day up 400 points, and I said it's not going to last. It's going to come back down, and it did. And then I said what they're going to do is run this market into the election. They're going to run it. They're going to do anything they have to run this market into the election. They're going to use the plunger team, and they're going to go out and buy options, do anything, buy the futures, do anything to push this market up. In long run, the market's going to go back down. In the long run, the market's going to, after the election, the market's going to start going down. It'll probably go down to about another 20%, maybe even 30%, because the real estate industry is going to kick in. I mean, the real estate industry is going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be brutal. there is no way to take us out of this downtrend because, first of all, we don't have we don't have the QE. We don't have earnings. Nobody concentrated on earnings. Nobody concentrated on growth. Okay, everybody's been concentrating for the last 13 years. Let's keep those interest rates near zero and keep buying tech stocks, and everybody will get rich. Well, the only people who got rich were the wealthy. The middle class got screwed totally. There's almost no more middle class. And the poor were taken care of with all of Biden's crazy programs. I mean, he just all the programs, $7 trillion. $7 trillion. When he got in office, $7 trillion was spent on green energy socialism. And then inflation kept increasing. He wouldn't stop spending. He expanded all the social programs, expanded Medicare. He expanded all these entitlements, child tax credit, on and on. Inflation increased. Because, see, he's the only president that doesn't fear inflation. Because he wants to have, remember, he's been supported by the left wing of his party, the socialists, and you can't have socialism unless you get rid of the middle class. Now, here's the thing. The market, it's volatile, and that's how you make money in the market. But you're excluded because you don't short. Please listen to me. You're excluded from making money in the market because you don't short. Once you start to short, and you're going to be excellent at buying a stock, that's easy, and then you're going to learn how to sell short. Once you do that, you could care less about the market going up or down. You could care less. You want it to go up and down in a downtrend channel. That's what most people don't understand. We have 4 lower highs in the S&P. Big lower highs. No one's going to tell you the truth what it means. So there's a tremendous opportunity in this market. You just got to understand how it works. Look, every day I tell you, come to my YouTube channel in the morning, and I'm going to explain to you what the market's going to do for that day and what the market's going to do in long term. You don't have to pay for that. Then I open up Phil's Gang to you for 10 days. You have access to everything in Phil's Gang. And for 10 days, every day at 2 o'clock, we post what we call our Working Investor Stock Group. And every day, Steve, who's the head of our education department, tells you exactly what to do with each stock. When to buy, when to add to your position, when to stop, when to take profits. But hold your hand. For God's sakes, you got a private coach free for 10 days. During that period, you should take advantage of how do I short. I don't care if you're in a 401k. Matter of fact, the people in 401k should learn how to short. Not that you can short your 401k, but you can leverage or you can hedge yourself. While you're losing money, you've already lost about 20%, most of you. You're going to lose another 20% very easily. So don't you think you ought to be making money when the market's going down? So if you already lost 20%, do you want to lose another 20%? How about stopping the loss of the next 20%? And you can do that easy. And we're going to show you how to do that on November 12th. Between 12 and 3 p.m. online. It's archived for 2 weeks if you can't make it. So between every morning, to answer your question, what the market's going to do, you got that every day. So you start the day, you know what the market's going to do. And then if you join my gang for 10 days free, you're going to understand how to sell a stock short. And then on November 12th, this is the only thing that costs you anything. November 12th from 12 to 3 p.m., we're going to archive one of the best teaching webinars ever. Why? Why do I say that? Because nobody else teaches shorting. They all teach you the same thing. Buy and hold. Yep, buy and hold. Keep buying and hold. If I hear buy and hold anymore, I'm telling you, my head explodes. Buy and hold. Bunch of lazy people want you to buy and hold. Bunch of lazy losers want you to buy and hold. They haven't got to do anything except ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. So Sign up for November 12th, and you got it for 2 weeks, for God's sakes. Free for 2 weeks. You can have it for 2 weeks so you can keep going over the parts that interest you, okay? Now, go to my gift shop, philsgang.com gift shop. It's $99. Sign up. Now, we limit it to 80 people because we give that 2 weeks, 2 week period, okay, that you archive for 2 weeks. We have tons of people asking us questions. By limiting it to 80 folks, we can get to everybody and answer their questions. Okay, we're not a big, we don't have a big staff. And the last time we didn't do that, and when we had like 180 people, 160 people, it was impossible. But 80 we can do comfortably. So that's it right there. All right, so please take advantage of this. This thing is not, just because you see the market going up today, every time the market goes up, it's a short covering. It's not people buying. It's not new money coming in. Please understand that. Every time you see the market today, when the market was up this morning 275 points or 250 points, and it dropped down, how low did it go? Well, it went down, I think, to negative 60 in the whole city. And then 10 minutes later, they went from negative 60 back up to 275. How the hell did it do that? Because people like me, professionals like me, were taking my short positions and covering them. JP Morgan taking their short positions, covering them. Hedge funds taking their short positions, covering them. Insurance companies taking their short positions, covering. And now we're going to short them again. Because there's no way the market can sustain itself. There's no sustainability. You can't have sustainability with this kind of inflation. It's impossible. That's why the market's in a downtrend channel for 44 weeks. That's got to be a record. How can the market keep going down for 44 weeks and can't break out? Because QE's gone, earnings suck, and we haven't capitulated because they keep lying to you how great the economy is, and people have a lot of money, and they're rich, and they got a lot of savings. They can all retire. Nobody has to work anymore. The economy's doing so. Who's scared? Nobody wants to throw their stocks. So, it's going to come back. No, it's not. So, where did this all start? I keep hearing Biden blaming everybody. And when I heard him say this...
The remarkable thing about American democracy is this. Just enough of us, on just enough occasions, have chosen not to dismantle democracy, but to preserve democracy.
I never heard anything. That's the dumbest statement I ever heard. Somebody wakes up in the morning and says, hey, let's dismantle, democracy. Hey, Joe, let's get together, have a coffee, figure out how to dismantle democracy. Dismantle him.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grandy can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Graney, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Hey, welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, I want you to listen to this, please. When you join my gang, and even for the 10 days, you just stay with us 10 days, you're going to get one hell of an education because you're going to understand when you should buy and when you shouldn't buy. You're also going to understand in those 10 days, when do I get out of the market, meaning when do I short it and make money on the way down. The big thing you're going to learn is which group of stocks, which stocks should I be in? Which ones? With the bond yields going up or the bond yields going down? The bond yields are going, what yields going up? What stock group should I be in? There's 11 groups. The bond yields are going down. What group should I be with? So you're going to have an understanding how the market works. You don't know how the market works. You're depending on somebody like some dope like Kramer or somebody else to tell you what the hot stock is because they know the CEO. When you leave, you're going to understand when you should buy a stock or sell a stock short. You're going to learn how to sell a stock short, and you're always going to be in the right group, like our oil group. During all of this, our oils are up between 20 and 30%. You ask any member, I got them in oil right away because I knew oil was going to go up. Well, everybody say, well, oil is going to come down, oil is going to go down. No. And then that one time when oil came down, I started to laugh. I told everybody, I've been doing this for over 55 years, 50 years. I've never seen you have a war and oil goes down. Do you know oil now is at $90? I think I'm right. Is it still at 90? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. $90. Oil is going to go to 100. No, I told you back then when oil came down, I think the low was what, Willie, about 75, 80? And I said, it's going to go 100. And we kept buying oil and the oil stocks. And we done terrific with the oil stocks. And then we turned around and we've been shorting the tech stocks because I knew the tech stocks were going to go down because inflation kills tech stocks. High yield kills tech stocks. So we're long oil, short big tech. And we're working with our members every day. You have 3 coaches here every day that are working with you. So join my gang, free for the 10 days. Take advantage of that. Go to my YouTube channel every day. It's free, so you know which way the market's going to go that day and beyond. Okay? And then come to my workshop on November 12th. That's all you got to pay for. It's $99. All right. So let's talk about this. Listen to this.
When I took office, this economy was in ruins.
What a lie. That is a lie. Are you kidding me? First of all, before COVID, the economy, the GDP was at 5.4%. 5.4% before COVID. We were booming. COVID hits. Okay? Of course, everything stopped. They kept everything closed. But think about this. Biden gets in office, right? And his first year, the GDP, I forgot what it was. It was probably about I think it was around 2.5, something like that. And now you take this year, he's flat. He's not growing the economy. But what gets me, he always says how he's doing a much better job at jobs than Trump. Wait a minute. He says, the 3 months before I got here, our country was creating roughly 60,000 jobs a month. We've been creating average 500,000 jobs a month. Give me a break. Of course that's true in one sense, but not in another. If you look at the job numbers, okay, as the economy started to come back, people went back to work. So when he added 530,000 jobs, like in February, and then another 77,000 in March back then, those were new jobs. Those were not new jobs. So he said, look at the jobs I created. 530,000 in March, and in February, 770,000 jobs. And in the final few months, Trump president, his growth was around 63,000. He did a terrible job. No, he was in the middle of a COVID. You closed the economy down. Nobody was working, you moron. But when the economy started to open up, those 530,000 jobs he bragged about, the 770,000 jobs he brags about, those are not new jobs. They're going back to the same job. They told everybody to go home. And here's the thing. When he told everybody to go home, we couldn't get them back to work. They didn't want to come back to work because of all the social programs. And that's created a 40-year high inflation. For God's sakes. Biden started to spend a massive $77 trillion in spending just in 20 months. $7 trillion. All on green energy and socialism. All on inflation went through the roof. He was expanding all these social programs, Medicare, all these entitlements, expanding child tax credit, and none of these jobs were new jobs. If you're told to go home and then COVID's over, you're told to come back to work, is that a new job? No, but he counts as a new job. He told people, we doubled people's employment. You want to know why we're at a 40-year high inflation? He doubled unemployment checks. You got one unemployment check from the state, the Fed sends you another unemployment check. You want to know why people didn't go to work? So people were increasing their savings. They didn't know what to do with the money. Then he placed moratoriums on, you don't have to pay your mortgage. You don't have to pay your rent. You don't have to pay your student loans. All moratorium. You don't have to pay your insurance. You don't have to pay your utilities. People got all this money. What an idiot. So he has all this money. Nobody's producing goods. So there's big demand for goods. Everybody's staying home. And there's too much money chasing too few goods. And you want to know why we have inflation, 40-year high? Are you kidding me? He should be impeached. He should be impeached. No one went back to work to produce the goods. So everybody had all this money that he was giving them. Look at the child tax credit money that people were getting. So they had all this money, and they were buying stuff, but nobody was producing it. So a pair of jeans in a store that used to be $40 goes up now to $70. Because there's only one pair of jeans on the shelf instead of 100, because nobody's producing jeans. Unbelievable. And then nobody would go back to work, so people were paying 50%, as much as 50% more than they used to for say, a dishwasher or a janitor or anything. People had to pay twice as much to fill that position. Now that's more inflation. Then you have energy on top of all that. All that induced inflation, on top of all that induced inflation. Biden makes sure we're no longer energy independent. He turns around and says, hey, let's not be energy independent. Let the price of oil go up, let gasoline go up. We're going to shut down the pipeline, XL pipeline. We're going to shut down ANWR, the biggest oil reserve in the world that's sitting dormant right now. And 10 miles down the road is Russia pumping and pumping and pumping out of the same area. And then he didn't stop the war between Ukraine and Russia. Any other president would have made sure that didn't happen, because the inflation would fall back on us. Because between the war between Russia and Ukraine, who's going to benefit from that? The Biden family pals, China and Russia, where the Biden families received millions in bribes. Now and even a diamond, something's wrong. Then he puts in the Inflation Reduction Act, doesn't reduce inflation. Inflation Reduction Act, but it doesn't reduce inflation. It went to green energy social programs. Out of the $750 billion, $400 billion went to social programs, green energy. And then they lied and said, oh, inflation, don't worry about it, it's transitory. That was a lie. And Biden says, oh, don't worry, the Inflation Reduction Act, the reason why how we're reducing the inflation is we got a deal now. The pharmaceutical companies are going to lower all their prices of pharma, and you're going to pay half or a quarter less. That's a lie. No. All that bill did was pass a law. Remember, the pharma people paid lobbyists $100 million to make sure nothing changed. The only thing that changed, they could now, the Medicare, the government can now negotiate with the pharma, but they don't have to make a deal. And by the way, they only can negotiate on 10 drugs. That's it. And it's going to take 10 years just to figure out what's 10 drugs. The whole thing's a lie. Look, join the gang so you're always consistently making money in the stock market. And the way you do that is learn how to short as well as learn how to buy. Join the gang. Free for 10 days. Check it out. Don't forget, November 12th, our workshop online. Go to my gift shop, sign up.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.